Uh-oh. It's the flame brand. Baby. Something's getting roasted. These covers have bothered me for a really long time. Like a really, really, really long time. Just FYI, we'll only be ranking these in the negatives. So that's gonna be like -1 to -10 because they really are that bad. If for some reason you have bought these from Tor, I would demand my money back. In fact, I'm prepared to offer you reimbursement in the form of a new hardcover.
Yes!
If you have bought any of these Wheel of Time novels with terrible covers. If this video gets 1 million views. All right, here we have the cover for The Eye of the World. That's supposed to usher you into this amazing adventure. Let's see what they came up with. This looks like Norton Critical Editions made a collection called Sad Sailor Poems 1800 to 1845. That said, the font isn't too bad, so -8. All right, the second book in the series. If for some reason you bought the first one after looking at that horrible collection of sad sailor poems, it's called The Great Hunt. So, you know, if I'm still new to this series and I'm looking at the cover, I'm thinking, you know, this is about Dogman's ambitions here. This is the book where Dogman finally comes up with a big plan to steal the man in red's hunting horn. And his 2 best friends are here with him every step of the way. You know, it's a story that really turns the genre on its head. I am kind of entertained by my own thoughts here to read like the entire series from a point of view of Trolloc. So we'll give this one a -3. Okay, so next we've got the cover for The Dragon Reborn. Oh man. The title for this should actually be Not the Dragon Reborn. This is like the guy who like Rand passes by on the road and like this guy's left sitting on the log thinking like, that should have been me, like I should have been the Dragon Reborn. Like even went to the Dragon Reborn theme park and got all the trinkets. This poor guy, it looks like he just got dumped by like the love of his life and he's contemplating like the bleak future of living in a monastery for the rest of his life. Actually, I'm gonna zoom in there for a second. Actually, he looks like he's gonna kill everyone in the monastery that he moves into. And he's relishing in the pleasure he's going to get from all this murder. I mean, like, really detailed. Like, really getting into the murder. I told them I was the Dragon Reborn. They laughed and said, go learn to play the flute. So I did. I made a flute out of their fucking bones. All right, next up is The Shadow Rising. Let's see what they've got. Did they come up with anything better? Oh, it's this fucking image. I've hated this image for like 15 years. I don't even know if these covers have been out that long, but I learned about it, traveled back in time, just so I could hate them even longer. So basically what happened here is someone put the wrong image on the cover. This was supposed to be on a Stephen King cover, like for The Dark Tower, but they slapped it on this one by accident, and now it's just been wrong for like 200 years. This thing. -15 out of -10. Balefire it. Twice. Alright, number 5. One of my favorite titles of like in all of fantasy. The Fires of Heaven. So I really think this would have been an interesting sketch for, you know, a Magic the Gathering card. Or Hearthstone. But not an epic story bearing the title, The Fires of Heaven. I mean, to be honest, this looks like a young sorceress learning how to cast a spell and she ended up just burning her homework, which I can only assume is like the artist's subtle way saying like, this thing was a dumpster fire, it's not my fault, burn all of these terrible covers. Like, I honestly don't even know how to give this a negative number. I just know I feel very, very negatively about it. So negative vibes out of -10. All right, another like phenomenal title, The Lord of Chaos. Well, like, where is the Lord of Chaos? Hold on, let me squint through this microscope and see if I can find the Lord of Chaos. This is like some guys from like the Men in Black have like found a time portal, and they're like rushing the time portal as warriors from an ancient time prepare to charge through the other side. Maybe a good photo for a time travel sci-fi cover, but -10 for a Wheel of Time cover. All right, what did they do to the Crown of Swords? So we finally see the man in red, but he's like surrounded by the guys from like Reservoir Dogs or like tax collectors in ill-fitting suits. I never imagined them to be like this baggy in the books. Like, how are you supposed to channel like the one power when you like with really baggy clothing? How are you gonna channel the one power if your sleeve keeps getting in the way? Say like -7. Now -9. Let's do -10. -10 feels good. That's the fucking Dragon Reborn in the Black Tower. Have some respect. All right. Next we have the Path of Daggers. This is a real treat. So this looks like Wheel of Time Cocaine Energy Edition, or like Wheel of Time Aes Sedai Gone Wild. This is like what I think like Aes Sedai Spring Break looks like. Oh, it feels so good. They shot me in the arm, but it's f***ing Sadar Spring Break, baby.
Oh god, the rush feels so good.
So I'm not sure like what the message here is, like don't use the one power, unless under the wise counseling of some very nice ladies. Don't do drugs, kids, unless under the supervision of some kind ladies from Tar Valon. Given everything we've seen so far, this is like one of the most dynamic covers they've created for like one of the least dynamic books in the entire series. So, -5. All right, we've got Winter's Heart here. So, at first glance, this really doesn't look too bad for like a first draft. So I'd say like -1, which is the best we've seen so far. So, -5. All right, the 10th entry in the Wheel of Time is the Twilight of CROSSROADS. In terms of covers, this is like one of my all-time favorites. So I'm really excited to see how they butchered this one. Oh my God. What? I mean, did they even let the artist finish? It looks like it's in black and white. It looks like the first draft of something that would go like in a storyboard, not like a book cover. Like not even a book cover, not even close to a book cover. There's nothing here for me even to critique because it's like not even finished. Like, did they just hate all the people who were drawing these? Balefire this thing for sure, -10. All right, Knife of Dreams, I'm sure we're gonna wanna drive a knife in this one. So what I like here actually first off is that they got Tom Cruise to spring for this cover, which no doubt saved everyone on the project from getting smoked. This looks like a drunk Alexander the Great, like trapped in a nightmare, and he's shooting a fireball, and he's thinking, well, maybe I can shoot fireballs when I'm drunk, so I should be drunk all the time. I mean, have we talked about the colors yet? Let's make the cover for this a muted dirt brown, like, you know, like 3-day-old feces brown. That should make it stand out on the bookshelves. All right, Gathering Storm, let's just keep going. Let's see what happens. F you. All right, Towers of Midnight. Am I gonna want to jump off the tower? Oh no, they went hardcore, bro. Do you even grimdark, bro? How many rape scenes are in your book, bro? How many torture scenes are in your book, bro? How many anti-heroes are in your book, bro? I actually like dark fantasy. I feel like I've read a fair amount of dark fantasy, like all the way back to like Frank Frazzetti's Death Dealer. See, bro, I'm grimdark AF. But that's not really like the vibe of Wheel of Time. So I'm gonna say -4. See, bro, I'm grimdark AF. Okay, here we come to the crowning achievement of the series, the conclusion, the grand finale. So, you know, did they go all out for this last cover? It's the 14th one in the series, or 15th. So here we go, for A Memory of Light. Well, folks, it looks like the inevitable happened, and they fired everyone who's associated with these covers and just slapped on a piece of Michael Whalen's cover. But they still only show us a part of the masterpiece of Michael Whalen's hardcover book. So negative 10 out of 10 would balefire. You know, one thing's crystal clear for me after going through all these. The Forsaken are back. The Forsaken probably drew all of these covers, and the Dark One is also back.
Oh god, the rush feels so good.